What's going on? It's Blake with Trade Tracer. As always, none of this is financial advice. Always do your own research and invest at your own risk. This is the S&P that we have pulled up here on a daily time frame. We've got some conflicting indicators here. So the S&P is closing at new all-time highs. I do like this setup. The bullish scenario you can make for a WV breakout. So here's one part of the W, and then we have this next V with this gap down and then reverse higher. So that's a WV pattern breaking out on the S&P, which is very bullish. I do like that. However, we do have some weakness in the industrial. So the Dow Jones has been the leader for quite some time, but now we're starting to see the Dow Jones lose some momentum, lose its steam. If this starts to break below, well, we can just use our levels. If this starts to break below 342.26, I think there's could be some cause for concern. It can weigh down the S&P and probably the Nasdaq as well. So we got to keep an eye on the Dow, but the S&P is looking to break out, so I do like that setup. But if the S&P, starts to trade like the Dow does, what about the Qs? What can we expect from the Qs? Well, the Qs are now playing catch up and doing what I expected them to do a couple weeks ago. So if we break out and reclaim price strength confirmation above the previous all-time high, 342.80, I think even if the Dow Jones does start to lose its momentum, we could see that rotation back into tech once again, and that would make for a very bullish summer. So we did see the rotation out of tech and into industrials. So we'll see if the reverse trade goes back on coming in this summer. So we'll see if we see rotation out of the industrials and into tech. And if that happens, I'm completely fine with that. I would prefer to much rather be long these tech names than the industrial names that we have been lately. So keep an open mind. Keep an eye on the Dow Jones. If the Dow starts to show some weakness, likely going to weigh on the S&P and the Nasdaq. But if the Nasdaq starts to see continued rotation, I expect the Nasdaq to lead. So this will probably make its way into the investment portfolio finally. So looking forward to making that move because I'd like to see technology, step up to the plate. Going into gold, gold isn't really telling us too much. Still in a bullish uptrend longer term. This trade could take a little bit to develop, but that's why it's an investment. So right now, still sticking with the allocation that we have. That could change by the time I put the playbook together and Monday's update. So we'll keep a close eye on gold. I do like biotechs. Biotechs are setting up for an add above Thursday's high. So these look really, really good. And we'll see if we can get some rotation back into the bios and back into the Qs. And if that happens, that's a very bullish setup. Typically when we have biotechs and really semiconductors, if they could step up to the plate, then the Nasdaq I'm very, very bullish on. That being said, as always, keep an open mind. This is the week of OPEX, so we're going to use last week's low as our stop on the rest of our runners. So we break last week's low, then we'll be getting stopped out on our runners from previous swings like Nvidia and Moderna and some of the other ones that we've had. That's going to wrap up this week. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or leave a comment below. Take care. See you on Monday.